Hello and welcome to a video tutorial on web authoring. We're using 2016 specimen paper 3 to look at some problems we need to address when it comes to web authoring. Now the task here says that we're supposed to first of all create a folder called P3 HTML and then make sure all this information are in the folder. All right, so quickly you create a folder and make sure that all these informations are in it. I have already done that, so if I go to my working area, you realize that I have got the folder here and it has all the information that I'm required to put there. Okay, so to begin with, let's see what the question requires us to do. Now, the first question 21 says that a student has tried to create a style sheet to be used with a web page, and the web page and style sheet must work in any web browser. All color codes are in hexadecimal, and the style sheet should define the following style rules. Now, so these are the style rules that needs to be defined. However, in this question, it says that you need to open the style sheet P3 stylesheet.css. What it then means is that this style sheet you see here, this information above here, from H1 all the way to body, here has been created already. However, it's got some errors you need to correct. So here you can see that it contains a number of errors. Correct and complete the style sheet using the information above. So the information above will be used to correct the mistakes in the style sheet which is already created. So if we open the style sheet, which is this very one, so I'm going to open with Notepad. There are some mistakes which have been made within this style sheet, and I've already addressed that, so I just open the mistakes that were made and then show you what you need to do. All right, so in H1, the mistake that was made was with the color. So color here is given in hexadecimal and not in ready green as we see. The font size here is given, and the person wrote mega. The student who did the work wrote mega big, so that also needs to be corrected. So if we open the question paper, you can see here that the color here is a hexadecimal code which is FFFF00. However, the student wrote ready green, which needs to be corrected. Again, you see here that the font size is 14, which he wrote as what? Mega big. Center here, there's a problem with the spelling. Okay, the spelling here is a British spelling, which is RE. Okay, the US spelling is ER. And when dealing with style sheets, you make sure that the spelling for center is spelled with the US accent, which is ER. Okay, so here also you can see that I've highlighted ER. So it tells us the center here was not spelled with the US accent. Now in the same way here, color, you can see it's spelled with a U, which again is a British spelling and it's wrong. So you have to spell it with the American spelling, which has no U. So this 1, 2, 3 here needs to be changed. Those are the mistakes in terms of spelling, right? And then if you check once again the H2, here it needs to type within a hexadecimal code, but here it just takes darkish blue, which should be changed into a hexadecimal code. The same with the font size here is biggish, which should have a number. The same with that medium for the font size for H3 also needs to be changed to the right number, and then here black also need to change. We can leave black here to be the same, because if you have the hashtag 0000, it will come as black, and so we can leave it as such. However, you can change it. It wouldn't make any difference though. Here you can see that the text alignment is left, but I mean it's spelled wrongly here, which is left. And then here also the page color is black, which we can leave that way, or put hashtag 000000. And here medium also needs to get the right size and not just that. Middle also needs to take the right number here within the font size. Now there is a mistake when it comes to body. Here you can see body background, sorry, the background here is having an underscore, and background color is having an underscore. It shouldn't be an underscore. When you have two words, for example, if you can see here, text align is having a dash. So two words or compound words are separated with a dash and not an underscore. So here there's a mistake within the background color with an underscore. So that also needs to be changed into a dash instead of an underscore. And again, British color needs to be changed to the hexadecimal code, which is given in the question. All right, so those are the changes that you need to make when you are given the style sheet to do the correction. And for you to be able to change all that, it means that you really have to understand what you're doing and be very critical with every detail you have in there. Now, for the purposes of our tutorial, instead of going to correct all those mistakes I've seen and highlighted, I will use a KompoZer to create a new style sheet from scratch. It saves me from all those things. If I don't really see the mistakes there which I need to correct, the style sheet, if I don't see the mistake in the style sheet to correct, then definitely I'm going to also continue with the same mistake the student made. All right, so to make my work easier, I'll just go ahead, window side by side, and then all I have to do here is to create the style sheet from scratch. Now there are other questions that require that you create a style sheet from scratch anyway, and so but in this case here we are not asked to create from scratch, but however I'll take the pain to create it from scratch, just to say that if you're also not too sure, you're not to identify all the mistakes within the style sheet, you can just simply use the rules here to create the style sheet that you're asked to create. All right, so to start with, I'll click on new, okay, and then to begin with I just have to name this untitled, okay. I can just click on untitled and then give it a name, or I just go to the CSS, and then once I click on the CSS, because it's untitled, it will ask me to give it a name. So this is P3 style sheet, so I can just name it as style sheet because it will change some way when doing the work. So the page title is style sheet, and then in saving it into my working area, I have to save it as a .css because it's a style sheet I'm creating. Style sheet always end in .css. All right, so style sheet.css, and then I click on create, and from here I have to create my style rules. So first, I have the first style rule I have here is H1. So I go to H1 from the selection, the drop down, and click on create style rule. Now once I do that, I go to text and then select the color. The color I have there is, so color there is FF00, so I type in FF00. Note, it is not O, it is 0, so it should be 00, and then I click on OK. And the next thing I have to look at is the font. The font here is Triplicate, and if it is not available, you can just use Arial. So you realize that in the question we had Arial. I didn't bother to change that to Triplicate because we are asked to either leave it that way if we don't have it within the style sheet. However, within the KompoZer, you have an unspecified, and unspecified is what you have as Arial, and which is a sans serif font, and or I can just come to where it says use customize font family, and from which I click on the drop down and look for Triplicate if there's any. Coming all down, there is, yes, there's Triplicate here. However, with MS, I can take off the MS and click on OK. But the moment I click on OK, what it means is that I'm done with all the style rule. However, I'm not done with everything, so I'm not going to click on OK. The next thing I need to do there is to look for the 24-point high. Now, although it's high, we'll maintain it as font size and then put in PT and then type in 24. So it's 24. All right, so 24, I just have to click on the number key. So 24 PT high, which is the same as the font size. So let's not choose line height, let's maintain the font size as that. All right, so that is it, and the alignment is centered, so come to alignment and click on center. So I'm done with H1. So having done with H1, I'll go close to the palette again, click on style rule and go to H1, H2. All right, once you select H2, always remember to click on create style rule. Then the color here is red. Red is 00, so I go to color 00. The only thing that changed is the last bit, which is CC. So I click on CC, click on OK, and font is Arial, which is the unspecified within the, so it's already on Arial. And then I go to the font size to be 16, so I type in 16 and then select the point, 16 point, and then the next information says it should be right aligned, so alignment is right. So I'm done with H2, move to H3, A3 style rule. From where I say create style rule, I select H3. Always remember to click on create style rule. The text here is 000, so color here is 00CC. So I change this last bit to CC and click on OK. And then once again Arial, and then the point font size is 12 points, so 12, and select point PT. And alignment once again is center, so I click on center align, and I'm done with H3. Then I go to the next one, which is L1. L1 is not within KompoZer, so you have to click on custom style rule. Once you click on custom style rule, you type LI and create style rule. Then once again the color there is 0000, color 0000, which is already there as black. You click on OK, and we have once again the font family as Arial, which will leave as such. The font size is 12, you type in 12 and select PT, and we move to bullets. All right, yeah, it is left aligned, so alignment is left. Before we go to bullet, we find list, use list for bullet, and the bullet here is disk. Also you select disk, and we are done with the line. So the next thing to do is to find paragraphs, create star row, and click on P, which is paragraph, create star row. Once again, the text for paragraph is 00, so you go to color 00 already there, you click on OK. Arial already defined as a font family for KompoZer. That's a default setting, so it's already on Arial. And then we type in 12 pt, all right, 12, and select pt for the font size, and we select left align, so left, and that is it for paragraph. The next thing we need to look at is body, so create star row, and here I come to background. Okay, all right, so body, I didn't create star row, so you can see body. I have to click on create star row. So once I click on create star row, I go to the body background. Okay, so background color, and from here I have 00 CC, so I have to change the code here to 00 CC, sorry, 00 CC, and then FF. All right, so once I'm done, I click on OK, and the background color is done. If I look at P, just want to be sure I have done everything for P. All right, so everything is done, and all the information I need for body, background, everything is created. So once that is done, I click on OK and click on save. All right, now having done this, I can close the KompoZer and check for the work that I've done so far. So yeah, so within the working area, this is a style sheet I have created. So let's open it in WordPad. All right, having opened it in WordPad, we don't need all this bit of information because we are just interested in the style sheet. So everything that comes before the H1 should be removed. The same way everything that comes after the body right there, that is style blah blah blah, should be removed. And so I remove that and I click on save. Okay, so once I click on save, I have created my style row, and so you can see here that everything I need is created. So body, background color, you can see here under the body to have separated with a dash and not underscore, as I mentioned earlier on. You can see here that the alignment is spelled as ER and not RE. So center here is CENTER and not CENTRE. Once you spell it with the British spelling, it's wrong. And we've done everything we need to do as far as the style sheet is concerned. Right, so having done all this, let's go and see what the question requires us to do. All right, so that addresses anything what you need to do as far as style sheet are concerned. So there are times you are asked to create in a hexadecimal code, which I have demonstrated with the hashtags, and there are other cases you are asked to edit the style sheet like I have shown you, and so you just have to do the changes that is required of you and you are done. Now we are supposed to save the style sheet in the folder, and this is the right format in which the style sheet should be saved. All right, so it should be saved as style sheet and follow with your candidate number .css. So we quickly will do that within our working area. So just have to rename, so it's style, and then followed by my index number. So my index number is 00000, let's say 12. So that is my index number.css, and all I have to do is go outside to get it saved. So I'm done with that bit of information, and I go to the next point, which says that take a screenshot showing the text of your style sheet and place in your evidence document. Make sure that the file name is clearly visible. The file name is clearly visible. So the file name here is the style sheet . So it should be visible as I take the screenshot. All right, so to take the screenshot, I'm going to open that and then click on the snipping tool, right, and take the screenshot all the way from the top. So the file name is showing as they want me to do, and then that is it. The screenshot has been taken. I have to open a Word. In your case, you'll be given an evidence file to put the information in. Since I'm not working in as you will be required, I'm not bothered to do that. All right, so I can edit this to make my work come out clearly. So here's the bit that I need, and all right, so having done that, I can stretch it a little to make the work look very legible. All right, okay, so that is the star rule, and that's a screenshot taken for that particular question. So that question has been solved. 22 says that using a suitable software package, open the file, use an HTML file, p3scooper.html, and then attach the style sheet saved in step 21 to this web page. So I'll open a KompoZer, and having opened a KompoZer, just going to put my work size are to open p3scooper.html or .atm within a suitable software package. So go to file. So the package we are using here is the KompoZer. So you go to file, open file, and then double click to open. So that is the HTML open, and here we are supposed to attach the style rule we created to it. So to do that, I click on the cascading style rule editor, which is the CSS editor, and come to the palette and select link style sheets, choose the destination. So it's within my working area, so desktop working area. So that is it. Double click, and always remember to click on create. So once I do that, you can see that the background has been created, and that was the style rule we created. All right, so we are done with question number 22. 23 says that replace the test candidate name. So here you have candidate name, center number, blah blah blah, with the right information. So to do that, you get to edit, find and replace. That is one way to go about it. So that's the candidate name, and I'm replacing it with Mr. Matt. Okay, I'm replacing it with Mr. Mathias. All right, so all I have to do is to click on find, and so once I do that, you find it highlighted in white below there. So it's search through and then found candidate name. So all we have to do is to click on replace, and it has replaced that for us. Alternatively, you have to click on close, or alternatively, all you have to do is select the next one, which is center number, and once you've highlighted on center number, you type in the center number, which is GH062. okay, so 062, and then the candidate number here you can also highlight and replace it with my candidate number 000012. All right, so that bit of information can be done in those two ways I've demonstrated. All right, so I'm done with question number 23. 24 says that set the table border to 2, and the 25 says that set all cells padding of the table to 8 pixels. So to do that, all I have to do is to click on table, and all right. Okay, so to move on to the next question, which is question 24, we have to set the table border to 2. So to get that, you double click on the table border, and then you go to table, type in 2 pixels as is required, and the next question 25 says that the padding should be 8 pixels. So type in 8 and click on apply, and OK. So 24-25 has been done. We move to the next question, which is 26. It says you set the table to fill the width of the window. Right, so to do that, once again, I double click on the table and then go to width where it says 400 pixels. I'm going to type in 100 and select 100% of window. Click on apply and OK. So I've done question 26. I move straight to question 27. 27 says replace the text place logo here with the image that. So we have to locate the position of that. So to do that, we go to edit, find and replace, and then I type in that. All right. So this could be within the background or wrap around or that. So we just click on next, and so that is why it is hidden within the black shades, and that will be difficult to locate without the find and replace. Now, so having found it, we now replace it with the image. So I'll click on image and then browse for the location of the image. That's the image I'm supposed to replace. So double click on that. I will advise us to use a text for the image. So here I just type in logo and click on OK. So now you can see that the place logo here starfish. So I just highlight and then go to image, browse for the location. So that is starfish. So that is the starfish. Double click, and then here I just put in fish and OK. Want to see what I've done, so that is how it will look. The next one is shark, so I highlight on shark, or you can just delete it. Go to image, browse for the location. So that is the shark. Double click, and you can just type in shark, click on OK, and the next one is turtle. So that is turtle. Should go here, click on image, browse for the location, and then click on turtle. So turtle is that. All right, now there is an alternative way to go about this. Okay, so to put an image in there, alternatively I can just say don't use alternate text, okay, or we just type in the name of the text there. So in this instance, I'm just going to say don't use alternate text and click on OK. However, this will not be helpful if you're supposed to create a link with the image, or you're supposed to hyperlink the image to a website. So you always have to put in the name as the alternative name. All right. When you look close at the picture here, there's a space here that look as if there's a picture, but it's not showing. So you have to double click and then reselect the picture. So here it is sunset, so just reselect it and click on open and OK to have it replaced. Once again, I have to type in the name or have to choose on use alternative text. Once you don't select that, it doesn't give you the opportunity to insert the image. So just like it popped up some few minutes ago, so if I click on it again, you realize that it didn't give me the chance to do that. But if I click on don't use alternate text and click on OK, I have the image showing right there. Okay, so anytime you find that shape showing or that image sign showing, it means that there should be an image there which is not showing, and you have to just go and then replace it as is required. So we are done with question number 28. 29 says that we should resize the image in 28 to 200 pixels wide and maintain the aspect ratio. There are two ways of reducing the image size of images. One way is to use the HTML. In this case, we are going to use the HTML. Another way to go about it is to use a photo package. Okay, so you come to dimensions, and here you click on customize, and the width should be 200. We are asked to maintain aspect ratio, so that is it, and click on OK. And then the next also should be 200. Customize, just change that to 200. OK. And then the last one also needs to be changed to 200. And dimension, customize size, and then click on 200. Now in the case where you're asked to make it 200 by 200, then you have to click on the you have to uncheck the arrow that says constraint, and that it allows you to type in any other number. But in this case, all we are supposed to change was the width, and so that is what we did, and click on OK. So having done that, we are done with question number 29. 30 says that make the image logo P3 logo and the JPEG as a hyperlink to send an email to this guy here. So Suba Scooper at CIE.org.uk becomes a link to which we are supposed to send the message. All right, so to do that, that is the last bit of the question. Yeah, that's the last bit of the question. So all I have to do here, these are just screenshot of the work I've done. So I'll just open everything I've done and then go to the image. So that's the image, and to send a hyperlink, all I have to click on is link, and once I click on link, I type in the address here, which is a super scuba at cie.org.uk. And when I come to advanced edit, you realize that I have alt, which is alternate text, and then the logo. So I'm fine, and click on OK. And then once I click on OK, I'm done with the hyperlink. So to display what I've done in any browser, all I have to click is on browse, so to show the work I've done in my browser. All right, so that is the work done shown in the browser. When you click on this, it will take you to the website, which is open right there. Okay, now because I'm not connected to the internet, that is how it will appear. So with this, we can confidently say that we will be able to solve any question as far as web authoring is concerned. That is all there is to know for now. And so till we meet again, I encourage you to keep practicing, and you'll become perfect. All right, so till we meet again next time, take care and be good. Bye bye.